Hello everyone, welcome to the video series on subject structural analysis 2. In this video, we are going to see the introduction on unit number 3, that is flexibility matrix method. This is syllabus of unit number 3 as per Savitribai Phule Pune University. The name of unit is flexibility matrix method, or it is also known as force method. In first part, fundamental concept of flexibility method of analysis, then formulation of flexibility matrix, then application to pin jointed plane trusses involving not more than 3 unknowns. Okay. And in second part, application of flexibility method to beam and rigid jointed rectangular footwell frame involving not more than 3 unknowns. In first part, we are going to see the analysis of pin jointed plane trusses by using flexibility matrix method, and in second part we are going to see the analysis of beam and rigid jointed rectangular footwell frame by using flexibility matrix method. Introduction. Flexibility matrix method was presented by James Clerk in 1864 and later refined by Otto Moore and Heinrich Müller-Bresdy. So the first it was presented by James Clerk in 1864, and later on the addition was done by Otto Moore and Heinrich Müller-Bresdy. Basically, there are two methods of analysis of indeterminate structure considering the high degree of indeterminate structure and development of computer known as flexibility matrix method and stiffness matrix method. Okay. Now, in unit number 1, we have seen the analysis of indeterminate structure by slope and deflection method, and in unit number 2, we have seen the analysis of indeterminate structure by moment distribution method. But if the unknowns are more than 3, then it is very difficult to analyze by these two methods. Okay, so if the unknowns are more, that is, if there is high degree of indeterminate structure, then you have to use the computer. So for that, these two methods, that is flexibility matrix method and stiffness matrix method, are useful. Okay, the flexibility matrix method used for analysis statically indeterminate beam, truss and frame. The basic unknown in flexibility matrix methods are degree of static indeterminacy. Now, a systematic development of consistent deformation method is also known as flexibility matrix method or force matrix method. Okay. In this method, the basic unknown to be determined are the redundant forces. What is the unknowns are there that to be determined are considered as a redundant force. Hence, the degree of static indeterminacy of the structure is calculated first, and then the coordinate number is assigned to each redundant force direction. Here we have seen the basic unknown of the flexibility matrix method is degree of static indeterminacy. Okay, so that is calculated first, and the coordinate are assigned. That is first unknown first, second second. Thus, here, if F1, F2 up to F1 are the redundant forces in the coordinate direction 1 to n respectively. Okay. If the restraint to the entire redundant are removed, that means whatever the unknowns are there, or whatever that is unknowns are equal to degree of static indeterminacy that are removed, then the resulting structure is called as basic determinant structure or release structure. Okay, so that indeterminate structure, after removing the unknown or redundant, that structure become a determinate structure, or we can say that is a release structure. From the principle of superposition, the net displacement at any point in a statically determinate structure is the sum of displacement in basic determinant structure due to the applied load and redundant forces. Okay, so it is expressed in the expression that is delta 1 equal to delta 1L F delta 11 F1 plus delta 12 F2 plus up to delta 1N Fn. Okay, now this equation Okay. In this equation, delta is the displacement in ith coordinate direction and delta ig is nothing but displacement in I due to the unit force at G. Okay, that is, it is a flexibility matrix element. And delta IL is displacement at I due to the given loading in release structure in the coordinate direction I. Okay, so the above expression or the above equation can be expressed in matrix form as delta equal to delta L plus delta into F, or a simplified form dq equal to dql plus F into q. Now here dq is nothing but displacement corresponding to redundant in original structure. Redundant means unknown in the original structure. Okay, this will be clear when we are solving the numericals. dql is nothing but displacement corresponding to redundant in relay structure. That means this original structure means indeterminate structure and release structure means determinate structure. F is the flexibility coefficient factor matrix. It depends upon the degree of static indeterminacy. If the degree of static indeterminacy is 2, then flexibility matrix will be of 2 by 2. Okay. Now here the value of dql, it will be dql will be 2. If degree of static indeterminacy is 3, then the value of dql will be 2. Now Q is the unknown redundant force matrix. dq is nothing but the unknown. Okay. Now to find out the dql, the formula is integration 0 to L capital M into small mi upon ei into dx. And Fig, this is the flexibility matrix or flexibility coefficient. Okay. Here I and G is the number given. Okay. To the degree of static indeterminacy, or we can say the number given to the redundant. Okay, so integration 0 to L mi into mj upon ei into dx. This is formula to find out the flexibility. Okay, now next, to find out the degree of static indeterminacy, that is DSI. So here this is very important because the first step is to find out the degree of static indeterminacy. Okay, now the degree of static indeterminacy is nothing but it is a difference between unknown forces in the member or at support reaction and equation of static equilibrium available for the structure. Okay, now in case of beam, we say that beam is statically determinate internally. Okay, so to find out degree of static indeterminacy, generally there are two values. One is external indeterminacy and second one is internal indeterminacy. The external indeterminacy depend upon the support reaction, whereas internally it depends upon the members. So for beam we only consider the external indeterminacy, and in case of trusses we consider the both internal as well as external. Okay, so here DSI is equal to R minus 3. Here what is R now? R is nothing but the support reaction, and R is minus 3 is nothing but, sorry, the 3 is nothing but it is the static equilibrium equation available for the structure. Okay, and for one dimensional structure, the number of static equilibrium equation available are 3, that are summation Fx, summation Fy and summation of the moment. Okay, so 3 equations are available. So here we are given the number 3. So DSI equal to R minus 3. Okay, now here one example is given and we'll find out the degree of static indeterminacy of that. Okay, beam. Now this beam is given. So in case of beam we consider only the external indeterminacy and we do not find out internal indeterminacy for the beam because beam is a statically determinate internally. Okay. Now here the support is fixed support. So for fixed support there are 3 reactions, one in x direction, another in y direction, and third one is the moment. So for a fixed support, degree of static indeterminacy 3. Now the next support is the hinge support. For hinge support there are 2 reactions, one in x direction, another in y direction. So the degree of static indeterminacy for hinge support is 2. And for the roller support, there is only one direction, that is in the y direction. So here the degree of static indeterminacy is 1. Okay, so it is 1. Okay, now in the given numerical, here there is a fixed support, so 3. Here there is roller support, 1, and here there is hinge support, so 2. So total number of reaction is 3 plus 1, 4 plus 2, 6. So the formula is R minus 3. So R is nothing but number of support reaction. So here number of support reaction are 6. Equilibrium equation are 3. So the degree of static indeterminacy for the given beam is 3. It is 3. Now in case of beam, we neglect the axial displacement in x direction. So in x direction we neglect that. We do not consider that. So by neglecting summation fx, so how many equilibrium equation will be there? There will be 2 equilibrium equation will be there. Okay, and the support reaction. So as we are neglecting the axial displacement in x direction, so here also we neglect. So I will change the color. Okay, here also we neglect here. So the number of static indeterminacy for fixed support is 1. For hinge support it will be 1. Okay, here is no no reaction in x direction. So the number of reaction will be how much? 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4. So number of reaction will be 4, and number of equilibrium equation after deleting summation fx, there will be 2. So if you neglect summation fx, or if you do not consider the displacement in x direction, then dsi is equal to 2. Okay, so in case of beam, we do not consider the displacement in x direction. We do not consider. Okay, so here the value will be 2. Then now step for the solution of indeterminate beam by flexibility methods. Okay, as we know that the first step is to determine the degree of static indeterminacy. So to find out the degree of static indeterminacy is the first unknown. Okay, so for the given numerical, the degree of static indeterminacy, here we neglecting axial displacement in x direction, here 2, here 1, and here 1. So total number of reaction are 4. Equilibrium equation we are not considering summation fx, so 2. So the degree of static indeterminacy is 2. Okay. Now here as the degree of static indeterminacy are the 2. So here we have to choose the redundant, and we have to choose the redundant equal to degree of static indeterminacy. Okay. And after considering the redundant, and if you remove that redundant, that structure should be stable. Now here at fixed support there are 2 reactions. At B and C there are 1 reaction. So if you consider here as a 2 as a redundant, that means of the fixed support at A, and if you remove this fixed support from here, what will happen? This structure will not be stable. It will be unstable structure. So we cannot remove we cannot consider the movement at A and vertical reaction at A as a redundant. So here we'll consider the vertical reaction at B and vertical reaction at C as a redundant. Okay, here we'll assign that vertical reaction B as our first unknown and vertical reaction at C as our second unknown. So from this we'll get the Q matrix. Okay, so what will be the Q here? The Q matrix is what? So Q1 and second one is Q2. So this is the Q matrix. Okay, now the next step is remove this is very important. Now remove the redundant forces. Now here we are consider what are the redundant? Vertical reaction at B and vertical reaction at C. That means here what you have to do? Here we have to remove the roller support at B and hinge support at C. So in this figure, we have removed the roller support and hinge support at C. Now when we remove the roller support and hinge support, what will happen? Now here the number of reaction will be what? Here it is 2 now, neglecting axial displacement in x direction. So here 2 minus equilibrium equation are 2. Summation Fy and movement. So 2 minus 2, 0. So after removing the support at B and C, that structure has become statically determinate. Okay. So after that, determine the bending moment M due to the given loading in basic determinant structure. Okay. Now here considering the section in this member, then considering the next section, then considering the next section. Okay. Here I will write down D. So here consider first section will be what? CD. Okay. The next section will be DB. The next section will be B. Like this you have to consider the section and you have to take the section in that and find out the bending moment for each section. And here limit, for example, length CD is 2 meter. So here limit will be what? 0 to 2, considering C as the origin. Okay. Here if the length of BD is 4. So here what will be the value? 4 plus 2, 6, considering C as the origin. So like this we have to take the limits, and that we are going to see while solving the numericals. Okay. So the next step is okay. So the next step is to determine the bending moment Mi due to the release structure with Q1 equal to 1. So next what you have to do, you have to remove all the load, external load, and our first unknown is what? Is the vertical reaction at B. So at that point you have to apply the unit force, and we'll call that Q1 equal to 1. So the force is of 1 kilonewton. Then we have to find out the bending moment due to the release structure in Q1 equal to 1. Okay. Now second, determine the bending moment Mj due to the release structure with Qj equal to 1. That means this is our second unknown. So you have to remove the external load and at support C, that is the vertical reaction at C is our second unknown. There you have to apply the unit force. Okay. And we have to find out the bending moment due to the release structure. Then you have to apply the superposition equation or equilibrium equation, that is dq equal to dql plus F into q. So dq is nothing but displacement corresponding to redundant in original structure. Now this dq will come into the picture when suppose our first unknown is what? Vertical reaction at B. So at support B, if there is a spring support or if the sinking of support is given at B, then this dq1 will come into picture. Then dq2 at support C, we have considered the vertical reaction at C as our second unknown. So at support C, if there is a spring support or there is sinking of support C is given, then this dql2 will come into picture. If not, then this will be equal to 0. Okay. So the next step. So the next step is to find out the dql. So dql is nothing but displacement corresponding to redundant in release structure. Release structure means that structure is statically determinate structure, and you have to find out the dql, that is nothing but integration 0 to L m into m upon ei into dx. So m is nothing but bending moment due to the original loading, and small m is nothing but moment due to the unit force. Okay. Then you have to find out the flexibility matrix coefficient. Okay, that is Fij equal to integration 0 to L Fij upon Ei into dx. Here instead of I there will be 1 2, okay, or 2 3. Here also then the value will change, m2 into m3. Okay. Then Q is the unknown redundant force matrix, that is equal to the degree of static indeterminacy, that is Q1 is the first unknown, Q2 is second unknown. Okay. So by putting the values in the value of dq, dql, f in the equilibrium equation, so we can calculate the redundant forces Vp and Vc. Then the other member forces are calculated by using the equilibrium equation. Okay. that is summation fx, summation fy, and that is summation of moment. So after finding out the support reaction and the moment in the different members, then we can find out the shear force and then we can draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So the last step is to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So this was the introduction on the flexibility matrix method. Thank you for watching this.